Yo, what up, YouTube? It's the young gunner DJ G-Wiz. Saturday. I'm back again with another video. So, got a late start to the day. I was out and about earlier. Now I'm headed to the gym, but got pretty frustrated. Been hearing things around YouTube. You know how YouTube has these suggestion videos and they just kind of pop up when you watch content or whatever, and similar videos kind of keep popping up. And I just continue to hear the same thing over and over. And we'll talk about that, shortly. Most importantly, I want to obviously shout out to the new subscribers. They're trickling in, getting one or two, three here and there. Again, I'll keep saying this. This is a journey about accepting the harsh realities of life. This channel is about self improvement, getting to the next level, getting to the best version of yourself, and holding yourself accountable to the highest standards. Basically, getting to the heights that you never could have dreamed about. So welcome aboard, new subscribers. If you're listening for the first time, like, comment, and subscribe. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. And if there's things you guys want to reach out about or talk to me about, you can always reach out to me here in the comment section or on IG. Appreciate you guys and welcome aboard. Let's get into it. So, like I said, I was frustrated, and we'll talk about that. How do I want to say this? So, Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson is one of my favorite Michael Jackson songs. As a child, when I heard it, it wasn't Billie Jean. It wasn't, Rock With You. I mean, I heard what he was saying, but I didn't hear it. Obviously, as you guys know, when you mature and you live life, certain words and chords and, meanings kind of stick out at you, you know. And Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson, I think that's the most impactful record in his catalog. I dare anyone to challenge me on this. Man in the Mirror, obviously, that's the song where, you get the women flying or fainting and getting rushed out in ambulances and getting carried out on stretchers. That's the song right there. So basically, what that song is, obviously, you guys have all heard it. Younger generation, if you have not, just break it down, break down the lyrics, and really listen to what he's saying. Basically, he's saying, if you want to change the world, you got to change yourself first. You can't complain about the world if you're not doing anything to change it. Meaning, there's all these problems that need solutions. And if you want to be a part of that solution, you got to change yourself. That man in the mirror. So, to talk about it today, like I said, I was frustrated. I hear so many of you guys, especially men on YouTube, I hear so many of you guys talking about your shortcomings. You guys talk about women way too much. Every video is about women, every single one. You guys are entirely too outcome driven. You have to understand the journey is what you should be focused on, not the outcome, not the destination. You got to be in love with the game. You got to be in love with shooting those shots at 5 a.m., not just showing up for, the championship games, because the championship games, they only happen a few times in your career if you're lucky. You don't always make it to the championship. You don't always make it to the playoffs. But you need to stay focused on the journey, the development. Um, so again, you guys out there focus way too much on the outcomes. Like you're focused on the women, you're focused on, the cars, the jewelry, the clothes, the Jordans, all of that stuff comes. But the most important thing is you need to develop and build that man in the mirror, because once you develop and become a better you, all the rest of the stuff just comes. You wouldn't have to have these conversations about money or women or fashion or jewelry or whatever if you were the best version of yourself, you know? And hate it or love it, man, the world is the way it is. We can't change it. You can't sit here and continue to say, well, things shouldn't be that way. Well, it is. Get over it. Now that you know how the world is, why don't you do something about it? Instead of continue to sit here and talk about the problems, be about the solutions. Everybody knows we got problems. We got problems everywhere. But all these problems have solutions. But it starts with the man in the mirror at the end of the day. And like I always say, music and life is so connected and it's so personal to me, because that's really my life. Music and, just living life. It's all connected, it's all a part of my journey. That's how I understand life, through songs and music and lyrics like that. The Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson, again, it's a life changer. And I challenge each and every one of you guys out there who are having trouble accepting life the way it is. Take a second. Think about how cruel life can be. There's a baby right now struggling, fighting for their life, was born with some type of rare cancer. How many times do we think about people like that? Kids don't even have a chance. And we have the health, we have the willpower, we have all that. But yet, we don't want to give this life a full go and be the best versions of ourselves. I just think about all those kids that were abandoned by their parents, parents strung out, or whatever. They don't even have a chance. But, you on the other hand, both parents, handsome, if you get a haircut and you lose weight and you work out and work on your communication skills, you could be something. But instead, we go straight to the internets and we talk about what life should be. And we got people fighting for their lives just to breathe again, just to exist and be around their loved ones. Again, there's so much we take for granted in this life. When I see somebody with a nice car or a nice home, I think about what they have over me. They either had more money, meaning, their parents passed and left them with a bunch of money, or they have a high paying skill or trade. But whatever it might be, they got something over me. They know something that I don't know. Or maybe they just got more guts. Maybe they just got more balls. Maybe they can deal a little powder or flour. Whatever it is that they're doing, they got one up on me. And whatever it is that they're doing, it has a cost and a price to pay. So if I want the mansion, if I want the Lambo, I know I gotta be where they're at or higher. So that means I gotta be willing to put in the hours or have the guts or balls to do whatever it takes to get what they have. And that's the only way these things work. You have to be willing to sacrifice something. But that all starts with discipline and the realization to be able to look at yourself and say, hey, I got something, but I'm not there yet. And that's where I'm at right now in life. Yeah, I got potential out of this world, but there are some things I need to work on. And I'm doing the work. Each and every day I'm learning, I'm working on my social skills, I'm writing, I'm training in the gym. I'm doing the hard work. And I challenge you to do the same with me. So again, guys, before you talk about why this, why that, or whatever, focus on that man in the mirror. So again, guys, I love you. Shout outs to the new subscribers. It's the young gunner DJ G-Wiz. And I'll be back again before game day. We out.